each other from water aerobics, and I have some favorite stories that you told me about Charlotte and you and your adventures together with Charlotte. Could you tell me about the cruise that you went on with Charlotte?
It was an experience. Kitty and I knew Charlotte, and she was a real character. She was a survivor because she had a large family and was divorced. And in water aerobics, she did her own thing. Everybody loved Charlotte, but she would come and dive in the pool, which wasn't allowed, and they would tell her that that was a no-no, but she would do it again. Finally, they had to give her the results. She had to sit out one time in the whole time because she didn't obey the rules. She and I went on a cruise. Now, Charlotte was a lot more aggressive than I was, and when we go to the gift shop, she would try to dicker with them, and they don't dicker, and she would go on, and finally they would just tell her that was enough. But when we were in Hawaii on our cruise, she would go in the shops and dicker, and by dang, she'd get her way, so sometimes it paid off. But I loved Charlotte. She, at one time, embarrassed me because we were at the very fancy dinner on the cruise, and we were with other ladies who we got acquainted with from Idaho, and you sat with them every evening. Well, it was dress-up night, and the waiters were in their tux. They looked so beautiful. Well, Charlotte was sitting by me, and she tried to get the waiter's attention, and he wasn't about to look at her, and all of a sudden she put her two fingers, and she could whistle, and she shocked all of us at our table with this loud whistle. Well, this little waiter come over, and he was in his tuxedo, and I thought, he's going to chastise Charlotte. And he just said, will you teach me how to do that?
Charlotte had a doll collection, and she asked you to come over to look at her dolls. And can you tell me a little bit about that experience with Charlotte?
Okay, Charlotte lived up in a very fancy area, but she was one of the first homes and had a modest home. She kept telling me about her doll collection. Well, I didn't even have children or grandchildren in an age that were interested in dolls, but she kept after me. So one time I went up to her home, and I have never seen a collection because one room had all Shirley Temples, another room had all Charlie McCarthy, another room, it was amazing what she had. She had a fortune in dolls, but they were beautiful. I was really impressed. But she had one mannequin that sat in the front, or stood, a very big mannequin. And when she got through, she says, well, would you like to buy any of my dolls? And I said, well, the only one I'm interested in, Charlotte, is the mannequin. And she said, well, she's for sale. And I thought, I'm going to get that mannequin. Now, mind you, I had no one to control me. My husband was gone, so if I saw something that was very, very dumb, I could do it because no one knew about it. So I decided to buy the mannequin, and she gave me a price. But when I was writing the check out to pay her, she said, oh, well, the wig is an extra $100. The anklets are $7. And I said, well, I don't want the anklets. The only thing I want is the wig. And I did have to pay $100 extra for this beautiful wig. But I got the mannequin, and I've got a lot of comments. In fact, when anyone comes in my home, whether it be a repairman or the little deacons collecting fast offerings, they're just taken back by this mannequin. So I've had a lot of fun with her. And then I wrote a little poem because my youngest son was getting a divorce, and it mentioned in the poem that he could have this relationship and he'd never get any flack. So I've had a lot of fun.
How about I go get that poem and you can read the poem?
Okay. lady asked me to read this poem. So, to Jace, the birthday boy. It was his birthday, and I thought, what I'll do, I'll give this to my son. I want it here until I die, but it'll be his. So this is what I said. I've lined you up with a super date. She'll never crab and won't be late. Her appetite is very light. She loves to dance, sometimes all night. The internet is not her bag. She knows of some who've met a fag. She won't talk back. Or spend your loot. In fact, this gal is really cute. Your kids approve. They think she's great. So go for it and get a date.
Okay, that pretty much wraps up our little interview. And thank you, Maxine.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your friendship. We love you at Water Aerobics, and I'll see you later.
Okay.